So good morning once again. In this webinar that we will be dealing with, we will be talking about the core models in detail in the time and order, and we would be muting your microphones during the course webinar. So once the presentation of the models are over, we will be dealing with all your queries. So the main motto of the webinar lies in the fact that we would be familiarizing you with Fedena for some optimum implementation in your institute. So now let's get started with the webinar. So prior to the starting, we have this four kinds of user that we would like to let you know. The four kinds of user are the admin user, the employee user, the parent user, and the student user. The admin user is the one which has the sole privilege over everything, and then we have the employee user. So the employee user is the one whose privileges can be varied upon. So the privileges can be varied upon based upon the task that he or she has been assigned. So let us suppose that somebody is a librarian, so we can give him the librarian privilege so that he will be able to access any kind of library data. Similarly, the parent and the student will only be able to access a limited set of privileges, and this cannot be varied from the admin end. So while the access to the application for an employee varies based on the privileges to assign to him or her, the parents and the students have limited privileges. However, it should be noted that the admin has all the privileges to use the application. So you can access the instance using the predetermined URL, which is default.fedena.org in my case. And now let's log into the admin credential and see what all we have in store for us. See, the admin credentials would always be by default demo at 123, and once we are done with the logging up, we will be able to see a screen which will look something like this. So each of these tables or each of these tiny window that you are seeing up here, or the tabs, are the dashlets which are available on a dashboard. So each of these dashlets can be managed up using this manage dashlets. So if you need any kind of dashlets to be present on your personal dashboard, so you can click upon this manage dashlets and click upon any required link so that you will be able to get the required option on your dashboard. And moreover, these dashlets can be removed. They can be added at ease. If you want to add this online meetings or news on a dashboard as a dashlet, you can save the button by clicking each one of them. And having saved that, if you want to delete something, you can delete that. And if you want to minimize it or reload it in real time, it can also be done by using this respective buttons from here. So that is all about how this dashlets works up. So now let's go to this manage quick links. So manage quick links is the place where you will be able to access all your frequently used links. So let us suppose that you have a link, or you would like to use a particular link for a more frequent basis rather than the others. So you can click upon each one of them. Let us suppose you would like to have attendance on your quick link button, so you can click upon each one of this and hit upon the submit button, so that these quick links will be modified and will be available to you as a quick links tab from here. So that is all about how this functionality has been, or how this look and feel of the dashboard has been changed. So now let's go deep into the functionality of Fedena and how this can work based upon the input that we give into it. So we'll be starting up directly from this administration section. Down we go to the settings to start up configuring Fedena in our institute. So if you would like to configure Fedena in your institute, so you can start up with general settings here. So general settings is the place where we let the application know more about this institution. So may it be the school or college name, school or college address, the phone number, attendance type, and so on. So each of the things that you see up here are to be given on mandatorily. So this will help you to figure out some of the things that will be available on the later part of this data feeding into the application. So moreover, if you would like to have the attendance type, so let us suppose you want to have a daily attendance type or subject attendance type, so you can choose the same from the drop down menu available here. And then we have this finance year start date and finance year end date, where you will be able to enter your required finance year start date and end date, and the system will record it and will be used up in the respective batches. And then we have this starting receipt number and language. So if you would like to have a starting receipt number, you can enter the receipt number like this. So what this would basically do is it would take the receipt number from this box, and it will use this receipt number in all the PDFs that will be generated from the application. So you can add a PDF. Let us suppose you are adding the receipt number as K01. So all other receipts might have a receipt number as K02, K03, and so on. So there would be an auto incremented value of the one that you have entered up here. And then we have language here, so you can choose upon any of the 16 available languages as of now. And the time zone, so Fedena is available in any time zone that you would like to have, maybe the GMT or any kind of time zone that you are in. And then the country name is to be entered. Progressing further, we need to enter the currency type, the precision count, and so on. So the currency type that you'll be entering up here is quite important, as it will be used up in the currency that we'll be putting up. So let us suppose I type here INR, so it will be used up in all the financial transactions that we'll be making up. And then we have this precision count. So let us suppose you want to enter a precision count as 2, so the system will restrict the application to use up till only 2 precision counts. So anything entered after this won't allow the system, won't allow you to interrupt. So let us suppose in the finance part we have entered something like K 12.34. So after 34, the system won't take, since the precision count has been set to 2 or 2 decimal digits after the decimal. And then we have this upload logo. So if you would like to have Fedena on any of your PDFs up there, so you need to upload it from here, and once it's uploaded, it will be available up in this in the PDF that will be generated from the application. And then apart from the normal grading system, if you would like to add a new grading system of your own, you can add the required grading system like CC, CWA, and GPA. And then we have the theme part. So you can enter your required theme. Fedena is available in your required theme like orange, dark blue, black, green, yellow, blue, and gray. So you can use your own theme that way. And then we have some more set of settings, set of configurations that you need to do on the general settings, like this: enable auto increment student admission number and enable auto increment employee number. So whenever we use this, when we need to follow this thing by adding up of a student, so we need to give the admission number of the first student, and the rest of the students or the subsequent students will be having an auto incremented value of the first student. So let us suppose if the first student has an admission number of S0001, the next students will be having S0002, S0003, and so on. The same thing also goes up for this employee number too. And then we have this enable news comment moderation and enable sibling, where you'll be able to moderate any kind of news that comes up for your issue. So let us suppose you want to enter a comment, or if somebody enters a comment for any news that has been published, so having clicked upon this part, the admin can now decide which comment is to be published and which comment is not to be published. And then we have this enable sibling, enable first time login, change password, and enable OAuth. So enable sibling helps you to track some sibling data into the institution. So let's suppose there is this sibling A already studying in the institution, and when sibling B joins the institution for the first time or has been admitted into the institution, so the data of sibling A can be copied, the parent data of sibling A can directly be copied to that of sibling B. So this would prevent the user from creating another parent for parent account or a parent for the same house. And then we have this enable first time login change password, which actually helps you to change the password any user. So let us suppose you are making an account for a user, and in that case the default credential would be the number or the admission number in case of the student, and the employee number in case of employees, and the password would be the admission number or the employee number followed by 123 for the students and the employees. So in this case, if you are using this enable first time login change password, the user will have to change the password for the whenever they log into the first time mandatorily, and they cannot skip the same, as the system will not allow the user to proceed further until and unless the password has been or the new password has been entered. And then we have this enable OAuth, which is to followed by the update button, which would mean that we will be able to log into Fedena using our own Google credentials. That is all about how this general settings works up. So now let's move upon to the rest part of the configuration, where we'll be able to create some student categories here. So to create student category, you need to click upon manage student category. From here you need to click upon the category, and then you can hit upon the local, hostels and physically handicapped, and any other thing. So let us suppose you would like to create a category, or you would like to categorize a student based upon the geographical locations, or based upon any kind of special privileges, like let us say local, hostlers, physically handicapped, and so on. So you can enter the category here and hit upon the save button. So doing this, you'll be able to create a new category for a student. And then we have this add admission additional detail, where you'll be able to add some additional details for the students. So let us suppose you want to add some additional detail like this, or you'll be able to type a name here and input method, and once you've created additional detail from here, you'll be able to see that on the table, and it will also be available while making the admission of a student. So basically the purpose behind adding an additional detail is to add some additional fields which are quite more specific to a particular school. So as you know that Fedena has a set of or a bunch of data fields which can accommodate all the data of the student, but if there is some kind of any specific requirement for a field for a school, so the school can create it from here, and while making the admission, the system will ask this additional field to be filled up, and we can even set whether any field can be made mandatory or not. So this was all about how this configuration and additional settings can be done. So the next thing is we manage course or batch. So the link manage course or batch, as the name suggests, you will be able to manage your courses and batches efficiently. So if you would like to create a new course, you need to hit upon this manage course and then the new link, where you'll be able to create a new course of your own. So if you would like to create a course, let us suppose you would like to create something like grade 012. So you need to type the name of the course along with the code and then the grading system. And we also do have a facility in the latest version of Fedena 3.1, where we will be able to ask the students to choose their electives of their own. So the 3.1 comes with this thing where you'll be able to choose their own electives, like enable elective selection. So once you have enabled this, the student will be able to choose their own electives, like what kind of subject they would like to have in the elective group. So then we have this batch details, so you need to fill up the details of the first batch under this course. So this was how a course can be created with the initial batch details of A 2014. So then on hitting the button save, you will be able to create a course under the you'll be able to create a course and a batch named as 8014 under the course grade 012. So that is all about how these courses can be created. And then we have a batch field here, so where you'll be able to create a batch from here. So you can click upon manage batch, select a course, whether it's active or inactive, it can be seen from here. So all the active batches in this particular course will be listed up here. So you can click upon this and all these students will be coming up. So this way you'll be able to create some subject. So let us create a real subject and see how the subjects can actually be created. So to create a subject, you need to go to this manage subject from here, select the required batch and hit upon this add normal subject or add subject to this elective group. So whenever it's about the subjects, the subject can be of two types. Type 1 would be a normal subject, type 2 would be a elective subject. So if it's a normal subject, it can be created normally, like by going to this add normal subject link from here, and then if you would like to create it from here, you can hit this button to create the name, the code and the maximum weekly classes. So what this would do is you will be able to create the subject with the name and code and the maximum with the maximum weekly class limit. Let us suppose you have a maximum weekly class limit of 4, so you can enter it from here, and then you can even specify whether if this subject comes with a no exam slot or not. So then on hitting cross, you'll be able to create a subject from here. And then if you would like to create some more elective groups, you can go to this add subject to this elective group button and type the name and code and maximum weekly classes and limit, and then hit upon this no exam if you don't want to create an examination for it. Moreover, if you would like to add some elective group itself, you need to go to this option where you'll be able to name the group, and then you can add some subjects into this. So that's all about how this configuration page or configuration thing from for the subjects can be done. And then you'll be going to the SMS module to see how the SMS module actually works. The SMS module, it's asks you to go to this SMS settings where you need to enable it from the application and hit upon the update button. So once enabled, you'll be able to see these all things which comes up with student admission, exam schedule or result and so on. So once you have this list, you will be able to update it from here. So the student admission, the exam schedule, result or the attendance are the places where the SMS can go automatically. And if you would like to send an SMS to any one of the parents or students individually, you need to go to this SMS to students link, SMS to batches link or SMS to employees link to send SMS to students, batches, employees respectively. And then we have this send SMS to employee departments where you'll be able to send this SMS to the whole department for in the institute. So moreover, if you would like to send an SMS to all the users of Fedena, you can go to this SMS to all link, type the SMS and hit upon the send SMS. So but anyway, and all the messages that you'll be sending up via an SMS so can also be seen up from this SMS log which lets you know about this SMS message. So you can even see the response of any one of the message that has gone up. So this would give you a clear picture upon how the SMS and how the configuration is to be done. So having done with all the kinds of configuration that are required, so now let's plunge upon to the real value where we'll be able to add some students. So the students module comes up with two things: the student admission where you'll be able to admit student for real, and then we have student details where you will be able to add some details for the students, or you'll be able to view the student details from here. So on clicking student admission, you'll be able to see the first name. So you can type the name of the student with a middle name, last name, course and batch, and date of birth and so on. So all the things are to be entered mandatorily. So you can enter each of the students mandatorily and then hit upon this date of birth option, choose the blood group and other details. So since it's a part of demo, we won't be filling up all the things. So but as a part of a lesson, we would like to suggest our users to fill up all the details so that it would be quite easy for them so to fetch the data at a later stage. And then we have this save and proceed button where you'll be able to save and you'll be able to add a sibling. So then the next step, or the step 2 of admission, asks you to enter the sibling. So if at all this person has a sibling, we can enter the sibling details. So the parent data of this sibling will be copied to the current student who's getting admitted. So the parent will be able to log into his account using a single account, using a single credential, and from there he'll be able to switch on the switch on to the profile of the required student. And then we have the skip button where you'll be able to skip any details that you don't like to fill as of now. And then comes the additional detail where you'll be able to add any kind of details like the admission agent, the passport, additional detail, and so on. And then we have the save and proceed button where you'll be able to save and proceed and go to the profile of the employee, profile of the student. So that's basically how a student admission can be created. But if you would like to search for a student that you have already admitted, you need to go to the students module from here, from directly from this academics tab. You can go to student details. Just add the name of the student detail. Let us suppose you would like to search for Po. You can search for the student here, Purnima, and then you'll be able to get the list of all the students with the particular name. So that's all about how the students can be searched and how the students can be seen up. Further, we also do have a advanced search button where you'll be able to make some advanced search for all of your students. So if you would like to search for a student like this, or you would like to get the list of all students having a blood group as B positive, so you can select the B positive blood group from here, and then on hitting the search button you'll be able to search the list, or you'll be able to get the list of all the students who have got the list from here. So that's how this thing works up in the advanced search. So now let's go to the rest part of these settings where you'll be able to see how the HR model works up. The HR model can be seen up from this administration tab, human resources. The human resource starts with the settings, employee management, and so on. So we need to start this thing from the settings page. In the settings page, you need to add an employee category, add an employee position, and an employee department, and so on. So you can create an employee category like this. You can type the name, hit upon a prefix button, and then on clicking create you'll be able to create a category. So if you at all you are creating a category from here, it will be available in this table and will also be available while making this admission of an employee. The same thing goes up for the employee position where you'll be able to create different positions in the category that you have created. So you can create a position in any of the created categories up here. And then we have this employee department and employee create where you'll be able to create a department, take a name, put a department code and the status, and then on hitting the button create you'll be able to create a department, or you'll be able to create a department, and all the department that you have created here will be available as a drop down while making an employee admission. The same thing also goes up for this employee grade where you'll be able to create a grade for your employee, like the name, you can give it a priority, the maximum period per day, maximum period per week, and so on. So on typing the name you'll be able to enter a grade from here and then give it a priority, which is basically a number, and then the maximum period per day and maximum period per week will decide how many periods will a employee belonging to this grade should have in a day and in a week respectively. So that is all about how these settings can be created. So if you would like to add a payroll category, you can go to this add payroll category link from here, type the name of the category, hit the percentage, and then on clicking the percentage off button you'll be able to create a payroll category related to any pre-created payroll category. So whenever it comes to payroll category, the payroll category can be of two types. Type 1 would be the associated payroll category. Type 2 would be a dependent payroll. It would be an independent payroll category. An independent payroll category is the one which doesn't depend upon any pre-created payroll category. You can type the name here directly and hit upon the create button to create a independent payroll category. But if you would like to create an associated payroll category, you can type the name of the name from here, and then the bonus percentage or the percentage it would be of, and then you would select the parent payroll category from where this percentage would be taken off. So on hitting the button create, you'll be able to create the payroll category. And please note that each of these payroll categories can be a deduction and can be an earning. So if at all it's a deduction, you need to use this option from here. If it's not, you can forgo this to create it as an earning. So that is all about how this HR and HR settings can be done. So now let's go to this employee management to create an employee from your end. So if you would like to create an employee from your end, you need to go to this employee management link from here. Type the employee admission and the employee subject association. In employee admission, you will be able to admit an employee by typing the employee number, the first name, and the rest of the details. So let's give a name and do the details like the department name, the category, the position, and the other details are to be entered. So on entering all of this, you can now go to the save and proceed button to save and proceed to the next step, or the step 2 of employee admission. The step 2 of employee admission comes up with this home address, office address, and then on hitting save and proceed, you can go to the next step where you can enter the bank details and then this additional details. And then comes this most important part of employee admission, where we need to set the privilege. In this part, we need to decide which kind of privilege would this employee who's getting admitted into the application must have. So let us suppose in this case this employee needs a librarian privilege, so we can give him that, and then hit upon the save button to create a reporting manager. And then the reporting manager would mean that we'll be allotting a person who will be to whom this Peter would be reporting to. So let us suppose we would like to um, add the name of Ms. Surya Kumari as the reporting manager. So this will enable Peter to take any kind of leaves after applying it, or it will enable Peter to apply for any kind of leaves to Surya Kumari. So that's all about how this thing can be done. And then we have this basic pay, so you can enter up all the basic details like this. So all the associated categories will create a number of its own, taking the percentage from the respective fields, and then the pay button will actually help you to the other fields like pay and payroll will actually help you to add the details. Then on hitting the button finish, then on hitting the button finish, you will be able to finish it and go to the next step where you'll be able to add the employee ID, or you'll be able to see the profile of the student. So that's all about how this employee profile can be created. So now let's move upon to the next part of HR management, where you'll be able to do a employee subject association. An employee subject association would mean that you need to enter a batch from here and then a subject. So in this step, we actually club a particular teacher to teach a subject in a particular batch. So this would associate the employee to teach a particular subject here. So you can enter the batch name, the subject, and then the assigned teacher. So if you would like to choose a new teacher for this subject Hindi, so you need to choose the department and then the teacher, and then on clicking assign, the teacher will be assigned and will be available up in the timetable. So that's all about how this employees can be managed efficiently. Now let's move upon to this employee leave management and create payslip, where you'll be able to will manage the leaves of all your employees. So the employee leave management thing starts off with add leave types, where you'll be able to create some more leave types, maybe the casual leave or the earned leave or the maximum leave count. So you need to enter up all the details while creating a leave type. And now we can head to the next part of employee leave management, where you'll be able to see the attendance register. So the attendance register looks like a real register where you'll be able to see the department here, and you'll be able to mark any of your employees as absent. Please note that Fedena marks the teachers as present by default, and if you would like to mark any teacher as absent, you need to go to that profile, go to the particular cell and mark him or her as absent. And today's date will be coming up in the yellow columns to give you a better control over this attendance register. And then going to this employee leave management, we have this attendance report and reset leave. Attendance report is the place where you'll be able to select the department from here and see the report of all the employees. And then we have this reset leave, where you'll be able to reset the leaves of all of your employees. So let us suppose that you have given some 10 casual leaves for the employees, and you want to reset these 10 casual leaves. So you can click upon reset and get this leave reset settings to reset the leaves of all this employee. And again, the reset can be done department wise and can be done individual wise, for which we have these two links. So if you would like to have the reset for all the employees at a go, you can click upon this reset all button. So, and again, this leave reset settings can also be automated if you enable this enable automatic reset, and then the period after which it should be automatically reset to, and then the count begin date is to be entered. And then we have this create payslip, employee search and employee payslip, where you'll be able to create a payslip for each of your employees. So whenever it's about this creation of payslip, it's actually a two-step process where we will be able to create, or where we will be able to create a payslip for a HR from a HR in charge. So the person who is in charge of HR actually creates a payslip or applies for a payslip for his or her employees, and then the person who is in charge of finance has to either approve it or reject it. If it's approved, it will be shown up as a transaction, but if it's rejected, it will be shown up as in the rejected employee pay list from here. And again, these pay slips can be, you can even select the employee from here, select the department, and then the employee name if you would like to create a pay slip for your employee. And then we have the salary date, this be a DA and TA, so you can enter up all the details. But if you would like to add or create it from here, you'll be able to create this payslip. And moreover, there would be some of the employees for whom you would like to create an individual category. So here is the link where you'll be able to create an individual category, and again this individual category can be a deduction and can be an earning as well. Then on hitting the button create, you will be able to create this payslip of the employee. So then now the next task is with the person who's in charge of finance, who has to either approve it or reject it. And then we have this one-click payslip generator and one-click payslip revert to help you to create a payslip for all the employees at a go. And if you come across a point that where you realize that the decision taken for the payslip was wrong and you want to revert back to the whole process, One-click payslip revert is the thing that you need to do, which is available here. And then we have this employee search and employee payslip. So employee search actually helps you to search for an employee by typing the name of the employee, and then on clicking view all, you will be able to view all the employees at a go. So and then we have this employee payslip where you'll be able to see the payslip of all the employees by just selecting the department name, and then by giving the month name from here, and then on hitting the button view, you will be able to create a payslip. So that's all. You'll be able to view the payslip. So that's all about how these payslips can be viewed up. And this completes our HR model. So now let's cruise upon to the timetable part, where we'll need to go to this administration tab and hit upon this timetable. You need to go to this academics tab and hit upon this timetable. So whenever it's about the timetable is actually a workflow which you need to follow. You need to start off with the creating up of the weekdays, and then after the weekdays has been created, you need to set up this class timing sets, and then go straight forward to create a timetable. So we need to hit upon this create weekdays option, where we will be selecting the weekdays for these batches, and again these weekdays can also be set as common for the whole institute. And then we have this set class timings, where you'll be able to set the class timings by clicking upon set class timings set from here. You need to select upon from this available batches, and then each of these, the class timing set that you've chosen up will be assigned to the available batches that you selected from here, and by putting the arrow, those selected available batches will be coming up here. So this way, this class timing junior classes will be allotted to all the required batches from the list of available batches. And then on clicking class timing sets, you will be able to see all these class timing sets that has been created. So by default, there will be a class timing set created as default by the name, and if you would like to hit upon this class timing or create some more class timings into the set, you need to go to this new button first of all to create a class timing set, and once it's created, it will be available up in this list. So you need to hit upon this class timings from here, and then you can keep on adding some new periods for this class timing set. So that is all about how this class timings can be added and how this periods can be managed here. So now let's move upon to the next part, where you'll be able to create a timetable of your own. So to create a timetable of your own, you need to go to this create a timetable option from here. So you can go to this timetable page, go to this create timetable, hit upon this, select the date from which you want to create a timetable for, and then on hit the button create, you'll be able to create your own timetable. And once the timetable has been created, it has been created for all the batches, and now you can select the batch of your choice. Let us suppose you would like to select this batch 10th 2013. Then we have a class timing set available up for here for you, and then you need to select the subject from here, and now you can assign this subject to the required batch. So this way you'll be able to create timetable or edit the entries for the timetable. If you would like to edit the timetable at a go for a particular subject, you can hit upon this, and on placing it like this, you'll be able to create a timetable easily. So that's all about how this timetable can be created. Now let's go to this work allotment, where you'll be able to allot any work, or you'll be able to allot any classes for any of your teachers. So we have this work allotment option from here. You can go to this work allotment and you can assign any required subject to your favorite teacher. So if you would like to assign Miss Tilzama to teach crafts in 10th in 2013, so you need to do this, and then on assigning on clicking upon the update button, Tiltama would be added, would be marked to teach crafts for 10/8 2013. So on the table that you're seeing on the right is actually the table which lets you know about the deficit and the remaining timetable for the teachers. So if this table says okay, the number of classes that she or he is supposed to do is the same as he or she is doing. But if it says remaining, then the teacher is teaching two classes then less than the one that he's supposed to do. The same goes for this deficit also. If it shows deficit, it would mean that this teacher is doing that many classes more than the one he's supposed to do. And then we have this edit timetable where you'll be able to edit a timetable or a view a timetable. And then we have this teacher's timetable where you will be able to view the timetable of any teacher. So you need to select the batch first of all, select the timetable first of all, and then you can see that from this timetable, Tirutama and Surya Kumari's timetable are available here. So that's all about how this timetable can be created, viewed, and seen. And then if you would like to see the institutional timetable or the timetable of the whole institution for a day, you need to hit upon this institutional timetable option from here and see how it works out for the current date. So that's all about how this timetable can be created. And then we have this timetable tracker where you'll be able to swap the timetable for your teachers. Let us suppose there is a teacher for whom you would like to swap the timetable for. So you need to hit upon the swap timetable and you can go and swap the timetable for the teacher. So this would help you to make any changes that may come just before a timetable is being progressed, or just before a timetable has progressed. So that's all about this timetable module. So now let's go to this examination module and see what all we have in this examination module first. The examination module can be actually be go prone by going to this administration tab, the academics tab, and then on hitting examination you will be able to see this examination tab. So we can hit upon the settings button just like any other module. We need to start up with the settings. We need to start up with the grading levels where we'll be able to create some grading levels like O, E, A, B and C. So and again these grading levels can be made common and can also be made specific for a particular batch also. So you can add the grading levels as per your choice, and then you can head to creation of some ranking levels. So creation of ranking levels would mean that we will be able to divide the or categorize the students based upon the marks that they have scored. So and again we can have some kind of criterias to assign a particular ranking level to a student. So if you want to do so, you need to go to that particular batch from there and start writing your criteria. Let us suppose that we have a criteria up here where we would like to differentiate students based upon the marks that they've scored, which looks something like this. So in this example, every student who has scored at least 40% marks in at least 4 subjects will be marked as passed. You can even select the limit types by using this drop down, and then on hitting the button save, you'll be able to create the required ranking level. And then we have this class designations where you'll be able to enter the marks, the course and the name, and you can even divide what kind of marks or what kind of grade that you like to give. So that's all about how this ranking level works and how this grading system, how this examination settings works up. So now let's move upon to the exam management and see how an examination can actually be created for a student. So to create an examination, you need to go to a particular batch. Let us suppose I'm going to the batch grade 012 and I want to create a examination, I can go to the particular examination from here and hit upon the new button to create an examination. You can type the name of the examination, like let us suppose you are writing something like surprise test 1, and then on hitting the button save, you'll be able to create the marks. So, and then we have this maximum mark and minimum mark. So maximum marks and minimum mark would mean that you will be able to enter a list of marks for them. So once you've entered up, it will be available of a subject and you'll be able to create an examination for a student. So once the examination has been created, you can hit upon this publish exam schedule and to publish and let the students know about the examination created. And once it's created, you can even go to each of the subjects to enter the marks individually. Once this marks has been entered up, this will be reflected in the report center once you have clicked upon this reports or generate reports link from here. So you can go to this course from here, hit upon this batch group, and then on clicking generate, you'll be able to generate the reports or make the reports reflect upon the report center. Then on clicking report center, you'll be able to see all the available reports up for you, made with the exam wise report, subject wise report, group exam reports, and so on. So each of these reports can be viewed up, and in even some of the reports you'll be able to get a graphical report of the same. So let us suppose you are looking for a report for UKGB 2013 for the exam group exam 1. Then on clicking the button view, you'll be able to view the exams for the students. So that's all about how this examination can be viewed up, and you can even get the graphical report. So the graph on the left shows the marks scored by the student, and the graph on the right or the bar on the right shows the class average. So this way you'll be able to get a quite a decent report of all the students and the required examination that has occurred in the institute. So that is all about this examination model. So now let's go to this attendance model and see how this attendance model is actually tackled up in Fedena. Attendance model comes up with two things: attendance register and attendance report. So we can click upon attendance register from here, select the batch. Let us suppose we can select the batch from here, and then you can click upon attendance, you can type the name or the reason for absence. So this way you'll be able to mark any student as absent. And again, just like this employee attendance, a teacher attendance is always marked as present by default. You can even you need to mark any of the students as absent for your own convenience. And what all mark examinations, what all attendance has been marked, it will be available up in this attendance report, where you need to select the batch from here, and then the mode. And once the mode is selected, you can make a choice of all the uh, or you can make a list of all the students with the required attendance percentage. So that's all about this attendance report in detail. So now let's go to the finance module and see what all we have in store for us. In finance module, you can go to this by using this administration tab and finance link, where you'll be able to create fees, category, and so on. So let's start off with the creating up of the fees, where you'll be able to create some fees from here. You can type the name of the category by clicking upon create category, giving it a description and a badge. So you can select upon the name, the description, and a badge from here, and then you can assign this badge to the created master category. So whenever we are creating a master category, we actually create an empty template, and again this empty template has to be assigned with some, or has to be stuffed with some particulars. So you can create a particular. Again, the particular creation can be done by three ways. It can be made common to all the batches available up here for the category, and it can be made specific to a particular admission, and it can also be made specific for a particular student category. So based upon your choice, you can create a particular. A particular would mean that you will be able to create something like the tuition fees this much, the sports fee this much, and so on. And then we have this schedule fee collection. So please note that whenever we are going to create fees, what we do is we basically create a workflow where the creating about the fees would mean that we need to create a category, a particular give some discounts if needed, and some fine rule sets are to be created. So once these fines are with the fees are created, you can go to the schedule fee collection to schedule a fee collection for your students. So you can go to the schedule fee collection from here. You can click upon create fee collection, tap the category, and then the fine, and then the start date, end date, and due date, along with the fine collection name. So this would help you to create a fine collection name like May, June, July fine collection, so on. So once you have created this fine collection, you can hit upon this view button to see what all fine has been collected from here. And once this fine has been created, and once this fees collection has been created, you'll be able to collect the fees of the students. To collect the fees collection can be done by two ways: fee submission per course, fee submission for each student. You can go to this course and the badge along with the fee collection date, and now you're all set to pay the fees for each of the student one by one by just clicking upon the pay fees link. And if you would like to submit the fees for each student, you need to type the name of the student. Let us suppose I'm typing the name of the student like Sabya. I need to click upon any fee collection from here, and if at all this money is not paid, you will be able to see something like this pay fees option from here, and you can pay the fees. And you can even make a payment mode, whether the payment mode was cash, online payment, check, DD, or others. And then on clicking pay fees, you'll be able to pay the fees of the students. So that's the way how you'll be able to record the payment of fees in Fedena. And this completes this fees payment or the collect the fees links. So you can even see what all fee structure is there for a particular student by going to the fee structure name and typing the name of the student, and you have this fee defaulters and fee refunds. So fee default is the place where you'll be able to see the defaulters of a particular fee collection date for a batch in the course. And then we have this fees refund where you'll be able to refund the fees. So whenever there is to be a refund, please note that the payment has to be done necessarily, and while creating the fee collection date, you can mention what fee refund would you like to create. And again, this fee refund is valid for a particular day only. So that's all about how this fees refund works. And let's go to this fee imports where you'll be able to import different fees for a particular batch. So this would come quite handy in places where you have created a lot many fee collection dates and you want to assign a particular fee collection date to some of these students in your institution. So you can create a fee collection date of your choice and assign it to any of these students in the batch that you've selected as per your choice. So that is all about how these fees can be tackled up. So now let's go to this category where you'll be able to create some categories for your students, of category for your financing. So whenever there is a transaction, an income or an expense, it has to come under a category. So and again, to create a category, we do have a certain list of categories as you can see up on the screen, like hostel inventory, donation, and so on. So apart from this, if you would like to create your own finance category, you can hit upon this create finance category and start creating your own category. And then we have this transactions and donations where you'll be able to create where you'll be able to add an expense or add an income for any of these expenses and incomes made in your institute. So these expenses can be assigned to any one of these categories that we have, the finance categories that we have. And then we have this donations, where you'll be able to see all the donations made. You can even record any donation and view all the previously created donations. And then we have this payslip. So as I said, like whenever it comes to payslip, it's actually a two-step process where the person who is in charge of the HR has to apply for a payslip, and then the person who is in charge of the finance has to either approve it or reject it. If it's approved, it will be marked as a transaction, but if it's rejected, it will be termed as in the rejected employee playlist under the create payslip link of HR. So you can even view the payslip or approve it from being the admin or the finance in charge. You can view the payslip, and then you need to set up on the department from here, the month. So once you're done with these selection or the required selections, you can hit up on this view button to view how the fees or how this fees pending looks like. So you can view it and hit upon this approved button available at the end to approve any kind of pay slips that are coming up from the HR. So that is all about how these payslips can be viewed, created, and so on. So now let's move upon to the transaction part, where you'll be able to see how this transaction can be done. So we have this finance reports place from here, where we'll be able to see the report for a particular time. So I can hit upon the save display report to see what all were my expenses and incomes for the required time that I have entered here. So if you would also like to see a bar graph of two different era comparing the two different financial transactions happened in those respective things, you need to go to this compare transactions and do the same. So that is all about comparing this finance module in a Jiffy. So now let's go to the other time modules like this internal messaging system or these events or news. So the internal messaging system has this send box, create box, and inbox, where you'll be able to create your own internal message and communicate it to the respective departments and batches of your choice. So this would be shown up as a number as it's being shown up for the required recipients from here, and you will also be able to create some events or news from the student. So to create an event, you can go to that particular event from here. You can type the title, the description, and specify whether it's a holiday or whether this event is common to all or not. Similarly, if you would like to add some news, you can go to this quick links button and start creating up a news, and this news will be available up to be viewed up for all the persons in that particular batch. So that was all about today's webinar in a jiffy. So for all our YouTube viewers who are watching this video, we would like to thank them for their continuous support, and we would be uploading more videos like this so that you will be able to get a clear picture of Fedena and how to use it in your own institute for your own context. So that's all. Have a good day for all the YouTube viewers. Thank you.